Welcome to Making Connection Studio. As Making Connection connects the children and youth towards the positive future. I am Nisha. Today we are very fortunate to have with us a very special guest. He is an eminent and distinguished philosopher, scholar and a teacher. He was the former Prime Minister of Tibetan government in exile. Professor Samdhong Rinpoche, welcome and thank you very much for joining us. So how do you feel to be here with us in Tong-Len?
Very comfortable, satisfying, and also very inspiring. Very happy to be here.
So why is education important for you and why it's important for everyone?
I think it is the nature of all sentient beings. Each one of individuals look for happiness and do not like misery and suffering. So this is common to all sentient beings. But every sentient being does not have the ability to go through education. This is a gift to humanity alone. The humanity has some possibility of evolving its mind to the highest level. And it has a language, it has a script, and that's how the development of wisdom and knowledge of the ancestors for millions of years, which come down through writings and the teachers and treatises. So to dispel ignorance and to achieve the understanding, the perception, the right view, for that each one needs some kind of hearing, contemplation and concentration, through which the knowledge can be transformed into a real understanding or real wisdom. So that is achievable only through education. Education in real sense. I'm not talking about the knowledge of letter or just reading, writing and arithmetics. But education means to shape the mindset, the mental attitude, to cultivate the potential of human mind to the finest way and to the highest level. So therefore, education is extremely important for all humanity, because human beings has the ability, as I mentioned before, and also due to that ability, each human being has the right to acquire education. So therefore, education is important.
Sir, if I understand correctly, one of your major interests is in holistic education. How it is beneficial for the young generation?
Holistic education, this expression holistic is not originally from Indian language. It is we are borrowing from a Western language. If something is not holistic, something is not in a complete shape, that thing does not have any importance or usage. If there is a partial knowledge, that is not education for me at all. Education means a holistic knowing, holistic perception. That is only education. As I mentioned before, Gandhi have said that education does not mean to become a literary person, able to read and write. That does not mean education. It is only a knowledge of letter. Education means how to evolve the human inner wisdom. And for that, any partiality, any pigmentation, that will not help to flower in your inner wisdom. My late friend Jiddu Krishnamurti always used to say, education means to awake the human inner wisdom as to the individual could flower in goodness. So that means education means holistic education. If there's no holistic, it is not education. It's just it may be a training, or it may be just a teaching of some particular thing. For me, education means to develop the person as a whole, not in a partial. If someone is not developed in a holistic manner, then that individual will not be able to achieve the real humanness. Real humanness means a person which is flowering in love and compassion, which can relate itself to the entire universe. And for that, you must have a holistic view, the right view. The Buddha have said in the first, among the eightfold noble path, the right view is the first thing. Because unless you have a right view of the entire existence, the universe, you cannot act correctly in that vast universe. So therefore, right view leads you to right action and right livelihood. So for me, holistic and education are synonymous. If there is some partiality and some pigmentation, that is not education. Okay.
I am very fortunate to be in Tong-Len as well as to be with you, as I am looking forward for joining Symbiosis Media University in Pune.
In Pune, great.
Yes. So, sir, what is your recommendation for me when I will become a responsible decision maker?
You need a right view, and you need the power of discrimination between the right and wrong. And that is the basic requirement. Therefore, you must develop your mind in rationality, not to believe anything because it has been said by some important person or some noble individual, or it is written in a scripture, or it is practicing in the society for a long time, or it is tradition or custom, whatever it may be. But you should not be believing in any of them just because it has been believed by many people. You must have a very sharp, rational mind by which you can reasoning and analyze the things for yourself. That's why Buddha have taught in the right beginning, "O my monks and the wise people, you should examine the things for yourself to understand. Do not believe because Buddha have said it." And this is Buddha's core of teaching. Buddha said, you do not believe in me if you do not understand my reasoning, my arguments, and my logic proposition, then you will not able to understood me. Just you referring to Buddha. Buddha is a great person, and he must have said it correctly. So this is the way in which the majority of humanity, whether believer or non-believer, they are stuck, just giving up the rationality, giving up the analyzation of things for oneself. So to become a responsible decision maker person, you should have number one, a very sound ground of rationality, a rational mind. And secondly, through that rational mind, you must make all effort to understand things correctly as it is, without any distortion. And if you have that understanding, then decision will be derived by truth itself. The truth will prevail itself, and your decision will be guided by the understanding of the reality or the truth.
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
So, sir, as I am from slum community and low caste, I have had lots of difficult experience such as hunger and discrimination. Like one memory I have, like, when we were trying to travel in the bus, the bus conductor refused us to come in the bus. So, and it is still going on in an educated India. So how will teaching social values in school help to create change?
Discrimination among the people is one of the sign of undeveloped or underdeveloped society. Actually, the entire sentient being are equal. In reality, not only the human beings, even the smallest insects and creatures or the animal kingdom, whosoever has a consciousness, stream of consciousness, that stream of consciousness has the potential to evolving it into the highest level, into the Buddha nature. So therefore, every sentient being is equal on the basis of its potential. And that potential has to be respected. And on that basis of the potentiality, the real meaning of equality among the all beings can be established. Whenever you see a discrimination, we have to oppose the discrimination. But difficult comes here. People who does not have the wisdom and self-confidence, they do not dare to oppose such discrimination. The discriminators are always apparently powerful, and those people who are discriminated are less powerful and poor, economically poor. And the first thing is do not have courage to oppose the discrimination. And secondly, someone might oppose it, but the opposition comes out of hate, anger, and disliking, and lose compassion to the injustice doer. So therefore your opposition has no meaning, because you become the sin level who is discriminating you. So you must have a powerful, compassionate mind to that person who does discrimination against you. And the person is not under his or her own control. The person is under the influence of negative emotions or ignorance. Due to that negative emotions and ignorance, they do this kind of injustice and incorrect things or discrimination. And have a powerful, compassionate mind to the person, and also very strong opposition to say this is not right and we do not accept it. So for that you have to learn from Mahatma Gandhi, and he, after 2500 years of Buddha and Mahavir, who have taught the principle of non-violence, Gandhi brought back how to practice non-violence in a modern society. in the modern way of life, and particularly how to use it in fighting against social injustice and social discrimination and political hegemony. And he was so successful for preaching how to oppose this. So the understanding of equality and one's own potential is not only important for the understanding of equality with others, but to build up one's own self-confidence is also depend on that understanding. And after that, the feeling of equality gives you a feeling of brotherhood, or kind of closeness to all the others. And then we have to be oppose the incorrect action, but we have to be love and kind to that doer. And doer is under the influence of negative emotion, ignorance. With that understanding, if you can oppose all the time with a compassionate mind, then social change will definitely come.
So, do you think we should do more to promote social values in society?
Of course. In our way of speaking, the Eastern tradition, particularly Indian tradition, we say Shila, Charitar, Sanskar. These are our words, and we must improve the Sanskar, the Shil, the morality and the ethics of the society and humanity. The value is a purely Western word. The Western people, everything judges from its price. Value means how much cost it. So this is a culture difference in the usage of language. So therefore I do not use value in the sense of morality or ethics or good conduct or sanskar, shil. But now today it is very much in usage. Value education, value-based education on the basis of UNESCO report. Now Indian universities also has a value education system. Actually, value education system, the word value is derived from the market oriented mindset. The market oriented mindset always looks for a value. Otherwise, we Indians, we say shil, charitar, morality, these are the good words, and we must improve.
So, as I belong to a disadvantaged community, if I had remained there continuously, I have had a little hope. But now I am able to talk with you, and I am looking forward to join Media University. I think with this profession, I can destroy the social inequalities. And this potential is because of one Tibetan monk and all the supporters of Tong-Len. So I want to say a humble thanks to Dalai Lama Guruji, you, and all of your works to the Dalai Lama Trust.
And I appreciate your effort and your confidence. And Pune is a very good place. I used to visit quite often, and that is after Varanasi, the second cultural city in India is Pune. A lot of educational institutions, and particularly traditional education, is very much alive in Pune. And since you are joining for journalism, you must read Gandhi's small booklet. Is called Hind Swaraj. Hind Swaraj. The beginning of Hind Swaraj, Gandhi spells out what is the responsibility of a journalist. And he described three basic responsibility of journalist. And from that viewpoint, you study the journalism, you will become a very very powerful person and you can do lot of things. Otherwise, actually, unfortunately now in India, all the university were taught the journalism is the entire course is borrowed from Western pattern. And Western pattern, I don't say that it's not good. It is entirely different from the Eastern mindset. So we have to understand the differences. And sometimes very funny, right from the beginning, the journalist course, they would say, what is news? A dog bites man, that's not news. A man bite a dog, that is news. And sometimes they say, good news is not news. And news must be sensational to attract the readers. So this kind of way of approaching and way of looking, that is not a right view. The view has been colored, and the view is not based on the basis of reality or the truth. So therefore we have to be very much down to earth and accept the ground reality as it is, and with that honesty and a compassionate mind, that is basis for all kind of action. I wish you all the best. Thank you
you,
very
sir.
much.